All right, Rick, back to your process. We are invited to your party.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Does that make you feel better?
Well, it does, except
Sort of.
this will be, this cake and ice cream thing is fine, but of course the other party, they probably had steaks, maybe a few cocktails.
Tailgate party, yeah.
But we were invited to that one.
Chicken wings.
Yeah, some hot wings.
Well, I thought, not to get sidetracked by you, I thought we'd give a little history of public power.
Okay, very good.
The first electric department was formed in the city of Crete in 1887.
Crete.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know where that's at?
Yeah, down Lincoln area.
From there, by about the 1930s, there were several hundred municipalities. You know, just towns. 42 private electric companies owned by about 5 holding companies. So in 1933, the Nebraska legislature decided that, with the help of George Norris, decided that you know, they wanted to be completely public power and make sure that the rural people get power as well. Primarily because the holding companies were looking for profit, and so serving somebody, you know, outside of Broken Bow or, you know, in Thetford really wasn't profitable because you had to build too many miles of line to get there. So with the help of George Norris, they passed legislation that created public power districts, and between about 1934 to 1946, all the investor-owns were absorbed by public power districts. So somewhere in that time frame, we were completely public power. One of the, and we talk about this all the time, one of the advantages is when we design rates from a cost basis. So we do cost of service studies, and that cost of service is what drives the rates. NPPD does that, and then filters down through us, and we put that into our mix, and then we look at the cost. So that's unlike an investor-owned who start with what kind of profit do we want to make. So anything that we do collect that's above our cost goes back into the system, and we reinvest it into the system, whether it's upgrades, new line, new transformers, new meters, that kind of thing. So that's an important distinction. This last Sunday there was a 75th celebration down in McCook.
Mm-hmm.
Did you happen to make it down there, Mark?
No, I wasn't there. I think Ron Ashe, who's been here, Ron was down there for that event.
Yep.
I think it's an important thing for people to realize that, you know, I came here to Nebraska about 4 years ago, and I can tell you right off the bat, my first thing my wife noticed right away was when she got her first electric bill from Loop Public Power. There must be something wrong because this doesn't look right. Okay, because we were used to getting an electric and gas bill of $250 to $300 a month. Okay, and she looked at this and saw it was 101, and there must have been a mistake. They only charged us for part of the month.
Yeah.
And she actually went down to Loop to ask them, and then they said, that's your bill for the whole month.
Yep.
So she was sort of stunned and was starting to plan what she was going to do with that extra money now.
Of course.
Well, it's kind of the celebration was down in McCook primarily because of George Norris, and that was the director of USDA, which handles our U.S., was there. A lot of big dignitaries were down there, and so it was a kind of a fun celebration. They handed out these books, which I gave you one. I think.
Yep, you did.
George Norris, you know, not only brought public power to Nebraska, but also Nebraska's unicameral, and helped create the Tennessee Valley Authority, which is kind of a cooperative type public power. Do you have anything to add on that?
Well, I have to go back when we were in the park a few summers ago, Rick, when the gentleman came in and portrayed Senator Norris. I wish more people would have been able to see and hear that, because it really gave you the feel of this guy was quite a character. He was a real active, progressive guy, and some people thought he was way out of the box when he started coming up with these ideas. Fortunately, he stayed with it, and I thought, well, one that always sticks in my head was that they were talking about the farms, and there was a lot more of them. Of course, during that period of time, people were living on 160 acres rather than what we do now.
Yep.
And the difference it made to be able to put your food in the refrigerator and not have it spoil, rather than having it hanging in the pantry or back, in the shed, hoping you could smoke it and make it last a long time. The differences in health that electricity brought to the rural farms, all of that comes with the story you're talking about.
Yeah, that was Senator Landis.
Yes, that's right.
Who's now ex-senator, retired.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he does a great job of portraying Senator Norris, and that was kind of fun. We might think about doing that again.
Yeah, maybe we could get him to come in and portray it here on the radio even, because you get a real, he's so good at portraying the senator that you get a real feel for what he was like and the effects that some of those progressive changes had on especially rural America here in the Midwest.
I was going to say that Darrell Nelson, who is from Broken Bow, is on our board of directors, told a great story. I'll make it short, but watching lights go on up over the hill, and slowly the line was moving toward his house, and they finally got electricity, and he recalled how his mother cried about the fact she now had electricity, and I think there's been studies that have shown that the fact that electricity, coming out into rural areas and so forth, longevity of people has increased, just because of refrigeration and
sure.
So.
Pumping water, taking a bath. It's all hooked up to that in the country.
Yeah, one of the underlying benefits, of course, of public power and being public and not the private organization is, we're enjoying some of the lowest electric costs in the United States. There's some states up in the Northwest who are lower. That's primarily due to the hydropower that they have up there.
Yeah. That being said, we've been trying to concentrate on the fact that, well, Ron Ashe was here. It's still the lowest around, but it's going to, because of input costs, is going to be rising. So we're trying to get ourselves mentally prepared for that as well.
This little booklet that you're handing out is very interesting, and it has the whole United States and the cost per kilowatt hour shown across here. And there's kind of a general trend in certain parts of the country. And it's interesting, the eastern seaboard, northeastern part of the country, pretty high priced electricity up there.
Yeah.
And then leading the pack is Hawaii, which is odd to me because you talk about somebody that does have wind, you'd think Hawaii would have converted to wind power.
Yeah, they're primarily diesel right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is odd.
Or solar there.
Yeah, and even solar, but you'd think they'd be utilizing wind, but maybe it's a matter of space. You couldn't put up 50 towers. Might be really crowding things there as far as the lack of land space.
Well, you missed New York, because New York's higher than. Oh no, Hawaii's at 21 cents.
21,
New York's at 15.5 cents.
Yeah, and you look at some of those others back there, 15.5.
That's
16.
doubling your bill today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That would ouch a little bit.
Yeah.
Of course, they got the skirts in Hawaii and all of that. And then one of the reasons,
A little bit of sand.
yeah, a little sand. One of the reasons back to Nebraska, I think that this is just speculation on old DJ's part here, but Larry Rice is pretty windy up there in the Ainsworth area. I think that's one of the reasons your farm has done well up there.
Get more wind, thanks to Larry.
I might also mention, Rick's talking about history of public power. MPPD working with a guy named Don Schaufelberger, who used to be a general manager at MPPD, and another fellow by the name of Bill Beck out of Indiana, wrote a book it's called The Only State, and about history of public power in the state of Nebraska. And if people want to get one, they can go to our MPPD.com website and they can order one from there.